right, let's hit the field.
It is Friday, September 26th, game 160 of 162, and the Yankees were taking on the Orioles. Tough pitching matchup. Could they get it done? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Let's go. Big win for the Yankees, 92nd win of the season. I know a lot of you didn't expect the Yankees to have 92 wins this year. I didn't either, but they have come through when it mattered. They have gotten hot here at the end of the season. Just keep swimming, baby, like we said last night, and that is 6 straight wins.
Wow, winning.
Now, unfortunately, the Rays did not do us a favor in their game against the Jays. They went belly up, and the Blue Jays remain ahead of the Yankees ever so slightly because of the tiebreaker, even though they have the same record at 92 and 68. Will Warren versus Trevor Rogers tonight was not the pitching matchup that the Yankees wanted. It was not a matchup that favored the Yankees in any way, but the offense pulverized Rogers to the tune of 6 runs. Warren hung in there despite not pitching particularly well, and he picked up win number 9 on the season. We'll talk more about him in a few minutes. But first, good news if you are a fan of Nuclear Stanton. We said last night, objective number 1 for Giancarlo Stanton. Hit the ball to right field. Hit the ball with power to right field. That's how you know he's coming around. That's how you know he's balanced at the plate. And then after that, you'll see the home run start to come to left field. I didn't imagine the entire scenario to play out as quickly as it did. He went deep in the, was it the first inning today, and number 22, right field. And then he smoked one 451 feet to left field in the latter half of the game. And look, 5 RBIs in the biggest game of the year. What else is new? The man just shows up when the lights are brightest. He is nails. Give me a red-hot Stanton and Judge in the playoffs one time in my life. Please, God, I will do anything you want if you just make that happen. You know, I love when, by the way, I choose somebody for the pregame thumbnail and then they hit a home run because that means I don't have to change it. But we also had home run number 52 for Aaron Judge. And Frankie Baseball just told me a few minutes ago that Cal Raleigh has pulled ahead of Aaron Judge as the betting favorite. So we'll talk about that with Frankie. He's going to join us here in a little bit after we do the pitcher spotlight. But first, let's get to the recap and key takeaways of game number 160. And Jared Williams says the Yankees are now 51-7 when Judge and Stanton both homer in the same game. Makes sense. I mean, those two guys mashing means you're having a good night. But home run number 22 for Stanton in the first inning. Honestly, I'll take the home run to right field over the 450-foot shot he hit to left field, because when he's going to right field, that's when you know that he's beginning to lock it in. And tonight he got a pretty good pitcher in Rogers. So great sign for Stanton headed into the playoffs, feeling good. At that point, I was feeling pretty excited. The Rays were up on Toronto, and I got Frankie texting me saying, "We're going to the ship." And I'm just like, Frankie, would you please knock it off? You're going to jinx us. And as I'm typing it back, Jordan Westburg hits a 3-run home run. I swear to God. And then the Yankees came back, and it was all Yankees pretty much from that point forward. Interesting play in the third inning. Judge at the plate, Caballero at first. Ball gets away from the catcher. Caballero decides not to take second. Huge because they have to pitch to Judge, and he smoked a long home run to center field. Number 52, that tied his rookie season. 50th home run against the Orioles. Amazing. And then later in the inning, Giancarlo Stanton. Are you kidding me? The destroyer of worlds. He is a wrecking machine. Please, God. Please let them both get hot at the same time. Pray with me, Forrest. Pray with me. Let Judge and Stanton get hot at the same time in the playoffs. Wells had an RBI single. He continues to heat up as the season winds down. We've seen him go on immense hot streaks. before we could use one of those in the playoffs. Camilo Doval, another guy who looks like he's heating up at the right time. He looked outstanding tonight. Will Warren was so-so, not good. We got some voicemails about him, and we'll spotlight him in just a second. But first, the Yankees take another one.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Brian Bashman says, anyone interested in yelling at their TVs should check out Mark DeRosa's dissertation on why Raleigh is the MVP. And I have only one thing to say to Cal Raleigh at this point.
Can't win.
It's got to be Judge, baby. It has got to be Judge. So, Yankees take the first game of the series. Tomorrow we got Cam Schlittler going against Sugano, who the Yankees roughed up not too long ago. I like the Yankees in that game. I like the Yankees to take the whole series. Honestly, I like them to win all three. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder right now. They want to complete the comeback. And, the Rays played the Jays tough tonight. Obviously, the Jays, squeaked it out. But I think the Yankees are going to take the division. And we'll find out over the next couple of days. Belt winner tonight with an all-new picture, Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. And Retro Tony says Nuclear Stanton is back. Eric C. says, a Stantonian blast, non si può stopparlo. And yes, the Yankees have a day game tomorrow after night game, which is typically not a time they play well. Tom Sawyer says, pretty clutch of Judge today, huh? Yeah, his home run gave the Yankees the lead early on. And look, I don't like the argument of voter fatigue for Judge. I mentioned this last night. A lot of guys have won more than a couple of MVPs. I mean, not a lot, but it happens. Bonds won 7, right? You can vote for somebody multiple times, and he deserves it, especially if they're deserving. And if the Yankees win the East, they come back and complete the East, and he has a big weekend. If Judge hits like 2 more home runs this weekend, and the Yankees win the East, it's going to be very, very difficult to not give it to a guy who's not only hitting .330, but in the mid-50s when it comes to home runs, well over 100 RBIs on a division winner. I get that Cal Raleigh hit 60. Great. Big whoop. He hasn't done a lot else compared to Judge. You go back and look at all the stats, but my vote, obviously, if I had one, would go to Judge. All right, let's talk about Will Warren, who completed his season with kind of an iffy night. He usually has trouble in the first inning, and tonight he looked lights out in the first inning. It was about the third inning when he started to run into trouble, put a couple of guys on, and then served up the 3-run meatball. At the time, it was a huge home run, but the Yankees managed to erase it. Overall tonight, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. ERA on the season now, 4.44, 9-8 on the season. But you know what? After putting up a 10 ERA last year, if you had told me before the season that Will Warren was going to go 9-8 with a 4.44 ERA, I would have absolutely signed up for it. I would have absolutely signed up for that. So overall, nice season, but I think that was probably his final start. I don't think we're going to see him get a start in the postseason. I think the 4 starters will be, obviously, Frieden Rodon, Luis Gil, because he has experience last year and he's healthy. He's only pitched half the season, so he's kind of fresh. His stuff has been good. That's going to play up. And then Cam Schlittler, who gets the start tomorrow, obviously his final audition for a playoff start. Now, if he gives up 12 runs in 2/3 of an inning, that might change things, but I think that he's pretty much locked it in. He's got this fastball that plays. He's gotten better every time out. Let's find out what Frankie Baseball thinks about it.
It's just a reaction.
Frankie Baseball, welcome back to the show. The jinx officially over, even though you tried to jinx them tonight. How you feeling about this? How do you think this weekend is going to play out?
Man, I don't know. I am just, first of all, I'm so proud of the Yankees, and people that know me know that I can be very negative about the Yankees. I'm so proud of them that they have kept it close, that this is still a battle, that we have 2 more games, and that it's still tied. I'm just very proud of them and how they've fought here over the last week. There were 15 beautiful minutes today when I texted you, when the Yankees were winning and the Blue Jays were losing, and It looked
And you
like
almost jinxed
everything.
us? Yes, I remember that.
Oh well. Look, we still have 2 more games to go. The Orioles have been struggling all year. I think the Blue Jays get it done, but you know what? I told you last time. Yogi said it ain't over till it's over. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep believing that something's gonna happen. They're gonna find a way, and I believe that Judge and Stanton will play huge parts in hopefully getting us over the line.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you, Frankie. I think the Yankees are going to take it to the house, and I think that the Rays, the way they played tonight, they're clearly there to win. They played them tough. They're going to take one of these next 2 games. I think the Yankees are going to win the next 2, and I think that's that. I think we're going to end the season with an 8-game winning streak and then have a week off to cool down and get swept in the first round. I think that's kind of no, we'll see how it shakes out. We got a couple of calls here. Let's start with Brian.
Gotta say, I've never seen an MLB season kind of finish this way. This has been pretty exciting all the way around the league, National League, American League, AL MVP race. Everything's just been pretty awesome here to close out this season. Also, we haven't really ever seen Judge or Big G at the same time going into the playoffs hot. I mean, sky's really the limit because we haven't seen that. So just wanted to hear what you thought. And
I'm praying to God for it, Frankie. I got one quick comment here from Jeffrey Cole, who's a member. I want to post this. He says, Derek, if the Yankees take first tomorrow, would you pitch Fried on Sunday to keep the division? Now, if it were MLB The Show, maybe. But in real life, I can't see Aaron Boone doing that. I think that, I can't see him doing that. They're going to save him to make sure that he pitches in the playoffs and that he's available in the first round, if they don't win on Sunday. But, well, first of all, what are your thoughts on that? Would you go with Fried if the Yankees, take to try and lock it down, kind of like a closer starter situation?
No, it's just too risky. As you mentioned, this was a video game, and who cares what happens? Sure, but it's just too risky to not have him. Fried has got to be your game 1 starter in the postseason. So yeah, I wouldn't do it, and I don't think Boone is going to be. Boone can do some crazy things at times, but I don't even think he is crazy enough to do that.
Dee's channel says, Frankie, you got to give a Nostra Frankie prediction. You want to make a prediction for this weekend? We're going to have our DraftKings predictions for the weekend here in just a minute. Do you want to chime in? Who's your home run pick for the next 2 days?
I'm going to say I'm a believer in Judge here. I'm going to say he gets a home run Saturday and gets a home run Sunday.
Wow, so 54. We'll sign up for that. Here's Austin.
Hey, Derek, this is Austin. So it's the bottom of the 8th inning. I saw that Toronto just beat Tampa Bay 4-2. Looks like the Yankees are going to win this one. I got to say, if the Yankees and the Blue Jays both went out and we end up with tie record 94-68 and the Yankees lose the division, I know people will be disappointed, but you know what? They can get their revenge in the playoffs, and that's all that's going to matter.
Hey, I appreciate the optimism. And look, 94-68, after losing Garrett Cole would be impressive. I mean, I think there would still be people calling for Boone's head, and I'm sure you and I have both done it plenty of times. But I would have to admit, managing a Garrett Cole-less team to 94-68 and completing this comeback would absolutely be huge. But we were talking about this before the show, Frankie. If we do lose based on not technicality, but based on the records against the Blue Jays and with 94 wins, lose the division or lose by 1 game, there are going to be a few games that we think back on that just drive us nuts. And for me, it's that entire Marlins series, but the one game right after the trade deadline, I will lose sleep about that because the entire team melted down. Is there one in your mind that sticks out? Probably any Devin Williams start, right? Or close appearance.
The hundreds of Devin Williams blown saves. But actually, mine is going to be the 4-game series against Toronto. I know that might not be the most popular pick, but this is going to be based off a winning record against the Blue Jays. Had a winning record against us this season. And that series where we got swept in Toronto, where we just came out it seems like lifeless at times, and Toronto was just dominating us. And then, the whole thing with the broom at the end, the announcers carrying around a broom, it just felt like such a low point in this season. So that is my and that's going to be my game. And I will say, Derek, you talk about 94-68. You said, before the season, we would have taken that. In July, when we were completely melting down, we absolutely would have taken 94-68.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
So it is quite remarkable what this team has done here in the second half. And I hate giving Aaron Boone credit, but I mean, you got to give him credit, dog. You got to give him credit, Mike. You got to love him. Credit.
That's a pretty good Mad Dog. We got a call here from Eddie.
Yeah, Derek, Eddie from Florida. Guess what? Will Warren sucks.
Entire voicemail. Here's Thomas.
Hey, Derek, it's Thomas. I'm calling in. Yeah, Yankees won. Toronto's winning too. I just want to say those games throughout the year where you say, oh, the Yankees lost this one and it might come back to bite us in the butt later on in the season. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hurting us right now. You look back at some of these games that the Yankees just lost. I know that's baseball for you and it happens to all teams, but it's like, damn.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's frustrating, and that's why you got to play every single day with a sense of urgency, Frankie, throughout the season. You got to play every game. I don't like punt lineups. I don't like putting in shitty relievers in tight spots. You got to play every game with that killer instinct mentality. Thoughts?
Exactly. And yes, you mentioned the punt lineups. I mean, how many times after the third game, after we won 2 games, Boone just like, all right, let me just, whatever, let's just get through this. The constant trusting of Devin Williams in spot where he did not deserve to be trusted. So many errors like this. And yeah, I know we shouldn't be negative because considering, what we're doing right now, but yeah, this is why every game's important. You gotta give it all for 100. I know it's difficult, but the great teams find a way to do it. And the Yankees are going to look back, if they lose to Toronto in the division series or whatever, and they lose because Toronto had home field advantage, they're going to look back at those games at that summer where they were just swooning. They're going to look back as that was the turning point. And if we just won one more game, we could have been different. But hopefully we won't have to worry about that, and hopefully something will happen this weekend to where the Yankees can somehow get home field advantage.
Well, let's take a look real quick at the playoff picture as of right now. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page just so we have the updated playoff picture. So right now, the Yankees would match up against Boston. So Boston is in the playoffs because they won today. I think Boston is the worst matchup for the Yankees in the playoffs. I really do. If the Yankees were to win the division, they would play the winner of Toronto and Boston. I think a Toronto versus Yankees ALDS would be, intense. That would be absolutely intense. And then Cleveland and Detroit, it looks like Houston right now is out of the playoff picture. That is interesting because they've been, one of the top teams now for a long time. Right now, the Mets hanging in there as the number 6 seed in the National League. But facing the Dodgers, with the way the Mets pitching is right now, I can't see that lasting more than two games.
I will say it's the bottom of the 9th right now. Cincinnati is up 3-1. So if this holds, Cincinnati will take over that 6th spot. I'm with you. The Red Sox worry me, not just because of what they've done to us this season, but it's the last 3 postseason series that we faced off against them in which we lost. 2004, 2018, 2021. I know that was one game. That we used to own them in the playoffs, and now I've just seen it time and time again. See them defeat us, and I'm just worried about that. Yankees Blue Jays will be a great series, and also looking ahead potentially, if we can get Yankees Mariners, and we can get Judge hitting, and we can get Raleigh hitting, and we can get Stanton hitting, if we can get that will be just the most amazing thing for baseball, other than a Yankees-Dodgers series in which Judge and Ohtani are hitting here. But I'm scintillated thinking about the different postseason scenarios we have here. But we got to, if we want to think about these scenarios, want to think about them happening, got to go out there and win it. Got to go out there and beat Boston. Got to go out there and probably beat Toronto on the road, and then probably beat Seattle. That's what we got to do, and let's hope we can do it.
But to echo Brian's point from the first call, this is going to be a fun weekend. It's shaping out to be a fun weekend. Either way, there's a lot of cool baseball stuff happening. And if you're a fan of the sport, fan of the game, you're locked in this weekend, even though it is week 4 of the NFL. Thanks a lot, Frankie. We'll see you Sunday to recap the belt standings for the year. and to go over our over-unders, which officially end on Sunday, and it is not looking good for me. This is what Frankie said to me before the day. You can't win. I'm officially out of the running. All right, ladies and gentlemen, quick word from DraftKings. So our weekend picks, we're going with Cam Schlittler tomorrow. 6+ strikeouts for Cam Schlittler. Look, he is a guy that is extremely poised. I expect him to show up in the big moment tomorrow and just deal. And the fact that the Yankees are facing a pitcher in Sugano who they hit pretty well last time out leads me to believe that theoretically the offense should do well. I'm calling another home run for Aaron Judge, number 53 tomorrow. And I think that the Yankees will win the division. I think they're going to take tomorrow. I think that on Sunday they will win again. And I got 2 predictions for Sunday. We got Giancarlo hitting a home run. That would be number 24, assuming he doesn't hit one tomorrow. And then Jazz Chisholm, I think, is going to go deep on Sunday. Just feels like he's had such a good year. 30-30. He's going to finish with a bang, but this should be a really, really fun weekend. So go ahead and get your predictions in the chat. And a reminder that if you want to play along with me, go ahead and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That is code FOUL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. And by the way, folks, this is for fun. So do not blame me if you bet on Cam Schlittler to get 6 strikeouts and you end up blowing your kids' college tuition. This is fun. Be reasonable. This is for entertainment. Have a good time with it. But again, 6 strikeouts tomorrow, Cam Schlittler. Aaron Judge home run tomorrow, number 53. Sunday, Yankees win. Sunday, home runs for Giancarlo Stanton and Jazz Chisholm. Those are my bets. Jazz Chisholm having a great year, 30-plus home runs for the first time in his career. 30-30 year. What a year. Let's get the boilerplate, and then we'll wrap it up.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, we got a couple of your predictions here to finish off. Eric C. is calling for a Wells home run tomorrow. Wells has been heating up. That would not surprise me. I like that pick. The only thing that I'm wondering is if he'll even play tomorrow, because it's a day game after a night game. You got Ben Rice possibly catching tomorrow. They might not play him. But also Ben Rice might play first base, and then Wells could catch. We'll see. But Joe Higashi says that a big belly bang is coming up. Get in my belly! Belly bomb! And then, let's see here. D's channel says he will blame me after he loses his kids' college tuition. DJPX says Mets suck. I can always get behind that. And then Eddie Trinidad says Volpe, number 20 on Sunday. I'll sign up for it. One more time from John Sterling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after the game tomorrow. This is going to be a fun couple of days if the Yankees keep winning. And then, of course, we got the playoffs coming up, and I'll be here for voicemail shows in the morning, post-game shows after the game, throughout the playoffs, 2 shows a day. So get all your calls in, just like we did last year in our run to the World Series. This time, I want us to bring home number 28. And then we'll do a live watch party for the parade. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.